Make sure
Smith, yes.
you do that. Give it to yourself. Now, that's number one. Number two, I ain't apologizing for nobody today. It's cold outside. It's cold outside. Look, man. I'm just telling you, man. That's how I like this. Oh, damn.
It's not even real cold outside.
Listen, it's in the 30s.
It's barely cold. You're from Queens. You're from Queens.
We supposed to be here.
Okay, we supposed to be here. I'm just saying.
Freezing.
Come on. When you reside in a place where you don't wear shoes in November, it's a little chilly up in here.
Look, I ain't gonna be here for long. You can join me the next couple of days. I'm out. I ain't signed up. This is what I signed against. This cold. I will be gone shortly.
Look,
trust me.
I second that. As somebody who's lived in Miami for over a decade, trust me, I understand. I understand.
Stephen A. Smith, when it comes to New York, I'll be gone in November.
I'll be gone in November.
In December. Let's go.
All right, guys, let's jump right into Monday Night Football between the Packers and the Eagles. Whole lot of defense, not a lot of offense. Philly took down Green Bay 10-7. Game was scoreless in the first half. Philly's offense showed a little life late in the game with a 36-yard touchdown pass from Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith. The Packers' offense struggled mightily as well. Here's Jordan Love and Micah Parsons after the loss.
I know as a defense, they definitely have every reason to look at us and say, what are you guys doing? You guys need to figure it out and help us out, put us more points because they're doing a great job. So it's frustrating, but, we'll stay together. We'll keep the energy high and find ways to get better and be better as offense.
I would not panic. I wouldn't stress. We're going to win football games, I promise you.
Okay, so Micah Parsons not worried. He knows that this Packers team is going to win some more games. Chris Canty, I'll start with you. How concerned are you about Jordan Love and that Packers offense?
I'm very concerned. Jordan Love is bad, and he's probably going to get his coach fired if he can't get it fixed. That's where we at. Here's the quiet.
That's very, very, very hard.
Yeah, but here's why it's very, very, very fair, Stephen A.
Okay.
New team president Ed Policy, when he took over the job this year, he didn't extend general manager Brian Gutekunst or head coach Matt LaFleur.
He should have.
And they're in their penultimate years of their contracts.
Okay.
Now, typically, the Packers don't like to operate like that. When you're a couple of years out from a contract extension, they want to get those deals done. But there's a reason why he hit the pause button on that. And when you make the move that the Green Bay Packers did before the season and trading multiple first-round draft picks and Kenny Clark, who is a perennial Pro Bowler, for Micah Parsons, what you are saying is that you believe this roster is good enough to contend for a championship. And every single facet of the football team is playing at a high level, except for the quarterback. And I'm not going to say that it's squarely on Matt LaFleur, but he has some bearing, some responsibility in all of that. But ultimately, what we know is the quarterback is going to be around because they just paid him $55 million a year. And so the reality of what we're getting from Jordan Love is just not good enough. All you got to do is look at the first drive of the game. 2nd and 9 in plus territory, ball inside of the 40. Why are you taking a sack?
Right.
You got the check down to the running back in the flat. You got the check down on the spot route to the tight end, and you decide to pass up on both of those throws for God knows why, and you take a sack by Jalix Hunt, and you end up on the wrong side of the 50. Last drive of the first half, you plus territory. You're taking a sack fumble. You take points off the board in that situation. You only lost by 3. That's 6 points that I just gave you. It's completely inexcusable what we're getting from Jordan Love. He absolutely has to be better. The stats tell a different story than the play that we're getting from the quarterback on the field. It's just not good enough.
I'm not sure it tells a different story. You talk about the 3 losses that they've suffered this year. 3 losses that they've suffered this year. Jordan Love is averaging 211 pass yards per game, 1 touchdown pass, 3 turnovers, a 78.3 passer rating. Those are in the 3 losses. In the 5 wins that they've had, 30 points per game, 269 yards passing, 12 touchdowns, just 2 turnovers. Now, the kryptonite, Jeff, might just be the Eagles. His 3 losses to them, 2 last year, this year. 0-3, 55% completions, 2 touchdown passes, 5 turnovers. That might be his kryptonite, running into those brothers. Somehow, some way, they got his number. So we got to look at it from that standpoint. Certainly, you can look at LaFleur. You got to look at him because you got to figure this out. You've been around long enough. You've been coaching this kid long enough. We shouldn't be seeing these kind of mistakes. So I get that part. But in the same breath, it is the Eagles most of the time. This is a problem, not necessarily with everybody else. I know I brought up the losses to the Browns and the Panthers.
Yeah,
I got that part.
But not just the losses, Stephen A. It's what the losses look like.
I know that.
The reason why
him.
But here's the reason why they lost the Browns game was because of a pick that Jordan Love threw on third down late in that game that led to Cleveland getting a touchdown. But the reason why they lost to the Carolina Panthers, a pick that Jordan Love inexplicably threw in triple coverage.
In other words, you said,
and one that should have been a pick in the end zone.
All right, well then what we're saying is, if we're gonna go by what you're saying, what we're saying, I'm gonna come to you, Jeff. What we're saying is this: damn it, the quarterback play is on the head coach. Now you got to get a quarterback coach up in there, or you got to know how to do it yourself, because the quarterback will get you fired. Because if you're looking at everything else with Green Bay right now, it's hard to have a problem with him. And then last night, you got to remember, he's got a little excuse because Kraft, that was his number one receiver at the tight end spot. That was the most productive person that he could rely on, and that cat is out for the rest of the season with the ACL. So it's not like Kraft was out there last night. So you got that as an excuse, but still in all, they got to get it together because we know you ain't gonna win if it's going like this.
Watson just came back. I'm gonna say this though, and I appreciate, because I've been rough on Love this morning as well. Yes. But I will say this: Matt LaFleur is creating kind of his own problems as well. Like they had 2 penalties, they had offsides twice, they had misalignments, they got drops. Like they're
the
not
illegal
polished.
Formation in the beginning of the fourth quarter hurt, because that's a 22-yard completion to Christian Watson, get you in the low red zone.
100%. And so you're seeing a lot of errors made by this football team. And I'm gonna say this too: they don't run it well. Like everybody acts like their offensive line has been okay. And last night, the Eagles got after them. The Panthers, when I look at this football team, I would tell you when they were their best last year, they ran their offense through Josh Jacobs. They got real physical last year, right? They started playing this style. I think that was their plan last night against the Eagles. And the Eagles, they shut them. They had 3.5 yards of carry. I think the Josh average, he had a big run for a touchdown. They're in the game. My problem with Jordan Love is he doesn't make those around him better. And when you're going to go with the philosophy they've gone with, which is first round draft picks at receivers, or you're going to get a true one, or whatever their concept is, he makes mistakes and doesn't put the ball where it should be placed all the time. That he can be inaccurate. When he plays really well, it's typically not big moments. And I think last night that's a playoff game. You got to show me you're ready to win those playoff games. But I think LaFleur, he has to figure this thing out. I think it's not just Jordan Love. I think it's a group of, and LaFleur has to be. And the reason I say that, I watch Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. And Caleb Williams is figuring out. You think about this last game. He had a quick out in the red zone where he throws the ball to the tight end, bending out. And I mean, his third step hit, that ball is coming out. Like Jordan Love didn't do that last night, and the pressure was getting home. That to me goes to coaching.
And that's, I'm not disagreeing with you, but that's where I have a hard time just pinning it on Matt LaFleur, because it's not as if the receivers are open, because LaFleur is not. No, they are open. They are open. The dig that he had to Romeo Dobbs, he's wide open, Stephen A. You get high school standards, he's open. Some of the checkdowns are there. To me, the biggest difference in that game, Stephen A., the biggest difference in that game was one quarterback being willing to take the layups and the other one not. The biggest play in the game was Jalen Hurts throwing a swing pass 5 yards to Saquon Barkley and then taking it 40 yards. It's the most explosive play we had.